Thank you so much, Madam President, for your incredible answer. And to your point about how progress is slow, the UN says that if a girl is born today, she'll have to wait until her 100th birthday to live in a gender equal world. So we know that progress is slow, but thanks to leaders such as yourself, we are inspired to really pull up and champion this continued work and advocacy. And
Yeah.
with that, I'm excited to introduce our next question asker. Iyanu Soyege is a Juris Doctor student at the University of Victoria Faculty of Law. Before attending law school, Iyanu was a policy analyst at the Government of Alberta, where she worked for a variety of ministries. Iyanu obtained her Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and African Studies from McGill University, where she coordinated McGill Women in House, a program that connects women students with members of parliament and senators. Iyanu is also an alumna of the 1834 Fellowship, which trains Black Canadian youth and young adults for leadership roles in public service. Currently, Iyanu interviews established and emerging Black leaders in Canadian politics and public policy for the 1834 Foundation podcast. Iyanu, what is your question for Madam President?
Thank you so much, Nia. And hello, everyone. Hello, Madam President. It is such an honor for me to ask you the question I'm going to ask you, especially as a fellow West African woman. So the question I have for you, I'd just like to preface it in this way. So as women, we are multifaceted and we have different aspects of our lives. We have different roles we occupy in our communities. We are not just leaders, but we are also daughters, we are sisters, and some of the individuals who are here on this call are even mothers. So the question I have for you is this. You've not shied away from talking about personal life challenges that existed beyond your political career. So considering this, what would you say to women who want to change the world, but they are also trying to balance this ambition with trying to change their personal circumstances as well?
Let me get the name right. Ania, is it?
Iyanu.
Iyanu. The good thing about being a woman is that we're proud of being a woman, aren't you? We're proud of being mothers, aren't we?
Mm.
But we're also proud of being full of knowledge, well-educated, well-capacitated. And you know, the record is clear. In any family, it's the woman that carries the burden. The burden when you're a professional woman, wanting to change the world, and yet remaining a good mother if you're a mother, a good example for your children. That's what makes the difference. The ability to do this multitasking and getting it done. It's not always easy. And there are times when you have to make a choice. Am I ready for a political role and all that goes with it? All of what is thrown at women because they want to discourage them from being able to take a particularly competitive office. Are you willing to take it? Are you willing to go past your fears to be able to change the world? Tough choice. But you know, enough women have said, I'm going to take the risk. I can do it. I'm willing to take all the slurs and the media slangs and the media something of trying to discourage. And many have made it. There's nothing that says everyone will make it. That's why the pace is slow. And many times it also depends on your partner. If you're going to get the encouragement on the basis that we're all equal and we both make equal contribution to society, but we all have equal rights to be able to stand up. We may not agree, but agree that we can disagree and still carry out our different roles and remain friends or remain family. I think that we must continue to see ourselves as change makers, simply because we've been marginalized for too long. And the numbers of those willing to take the risk and go past their fears have to increase tremendously to make a difference in attitudes and minds. Because those minds and those attitudes have been set for too long without challenge. And the challenge today is much too harsh because it's being fostered and enabled by global communication. By seeing progress in other places is bringing that progress right to your doorsteps. And it's difficult for people to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also regression and retrogression. We see that in the United States today, don't we? Most powerful nation on earth, look at what's happening. You can see how these reversals can quickly take place by one leader whose own ideas and thoughts and whose own motives are so different from what we expect it to be. But that's the dynamism of life, isn't it? And we learn to adjust, and we make changes, and we move on. And for women, it's nothing, there's no stopping us now. So just keep on doing. Like Barack said, you can do it.
Thank you so much, Madam President. And what stands out the most to me is take the risk. Take the risk. So thank you for that.